Elon Musk just changed Twitter to X. I warned you guys about X. I don't know how many of you have Twitter. Tweets are no longer tweets. So he has changed the emblem. He has changed the logo, the emblem on the building, the name of it. He's changed his name. Like, he's changed everything. And when I first saw he changed it to X, I was kind of wondering what, first of all, his fascination is with X, because he's got the Tesla X series, he's got SpaceX, he's got his kid, which is XAE XAEA 12, I believe. And now he has changed Twitter to X. I am going to share some background on this whole X thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but many, many years ago, Elon Musk started a website that was x.com, the letter x.com. And if you actually type in x.com now into your browser, it's going to take you to Twitter. He has already redirected all traffic to go to Twitter, and he has plans for the x.com website here very soon. I don't know if you guys know this, but Elon Musk was also one of the CEOs of PayPal. So Elon Musk reveals that he was rebranding Twitter. Elon Musk has long spoken of his desire to launch X, the everything app. So anyone who uses Twitter now knows Twitter is just a means of social media to do posts, to share links, to vent, or whatever. I personally think that Twitter is very toxic. It's usually just people attacking people. No matter which person I follow, it seems like it's more toxicity than anything else. He wants to turn it into the everything app, seemingly inspired by China's WeChat. Do any of you guys know what the WeChat program is? The WeChat app in China. It is not something we want here, and we will go into what the WeChat is. All right, so WeChat, the ongoing brand, marks the biggest chance to Twitter since the world's richest man bought the platform last October. As you can see, he changed the emblem, and for those of you that don't know, he got in a whole lot of trouble because he put a huge X on top of the Twitter building without any rights to do so. So the city went after him and said, you need to take that down. So he did have to take it down, but there's this big lit up X now on the buildings, but the hard, huge thing he had on the building had to come down. So Elon Musk has unveiled the rebranding of Twitter with the large X logo. And if you have the Twitter app, it's actually already changed automatically. You didn't have to update. Mine just automatically changed. It was really strange. It just happened, which kind of creeped me out. So the billionaire and his company's chief executive, Linda Yaccarino, appeared to confirm the change by posting pictures of the icon beamed on the side of its headquarters in San Francisco, California. Lights, camera, X, Miss Yaccarino wrote, before the X replaced the recognizable bird logo on Twitter's website. They asked Elon what tweets are going to be called now, and now they're called X's. So you're no longer sending tweets, guys, you're sending X's. Regarding retweet, when someone posts someone's tweet, he said the whole concept should be rethought. So retweets are obviously going to be renamed as well. So it comes from the world's richest man spent the weekend teasing an imminent rebranding of the social media platform that he bought last October for $44 billion. And if you guys remember, that was a whole fiasco when he bought it, because there were a whole lot more bots than we realized, or that he realized. So the company names has already changed back in April. So he did the company name change back in April, but he didn't release it until recently when he changed the logo and the side of the building and the apps and so forth. So the Everything app, which is what he is trying to turn X into, you guys, he's spoken of his long desire to launch X, the Everything app, even before purchasing Twitter. He has previously compared his plan with China's WeChat, which combines familiar features like messaging, payments, and marketplace and public posts into one place, which sounds kind of okay. We don't really have anything similar to that other than maybe your apples, where you can send cash that way through Zelle, through FaceTime. That's probably the closest thing we have here, but we don't have it all in one app right now. The marketplace and the posts and payments, messaging, we don't have that all in one app. But when he's talking about messaging, He's not talking about Twitter messaging. He's talking about regular phone messaging where you can literally pull up your text and text your husband or text your wife. Those chats are now going to, or are soon going to be in this X app to where you aren't going to be using your regular messaging system anymore. So Mrs. Giacarino appeared to confirm that that was the strategy on Sunday. So he's going to turn the X app into the WeChat. And wait till you see what this WeChat is. X is the future of unlimited interactivity, she said, centered on audio, video, messaging, payments, banking, and powered by AI. Now, I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk just came out and warned all of us about the dangers of AI and not having it regulated and not having rules in place. But now he's going to make X, the X app, the everything app that is powered by AI, which seems strange to me to warn everyone and then do it yourself. But as you guys know, I've never trusted Musk in the first place, and you shouldn't either. Then it goes on to say that Musk launched his own artificial intelligence startup earlier this year, dubbed XAI. There's another X. XAI. I was looking into this XAI, but I haven't been able to find too much information on it other than yes, he has started building this platform with this XAI. The thing that gets me is he is constantly warning people about AI and how dangerous it is, and how Google needs to really get their stuff in gear and have safety precautions out there. The thing is, you guys, the engineers and the software safety people that he is hiring are actually past employees from Google. So if you don't trust Google, you don't trust what they're doing, you don't trust AI, then why are you creating an AI platform and hiring the people that you don't trust? It seems very, very strange to me. And then also, this XAI is going to be integrated into his Teslas. So, Twitter under Elon Musk, the rebranding of Twitter marks the biggest change to the platform since Musk began his tenure. Among the changes have been sacking thousands of staff, locking verification check marks behind a paywall. So, I don't know if you guys know that with Twitter now, if you want to be verified, you have to pay for it. He obviously fired a bunch of his staff, and then he reinstated banned accounts like those of Andrew Tate, Donald Trump, and then applied reading limits on Twitter itself. So his loose stance on moderation has contributed to Twitter losing almost half of its advertising revenue since he purchased the company. Musk revealed last week that the firm wasn't profitable and was in heavy debt. That tells me that he's going to try to improve this app a whole lot faster and turn it even closer into the WeChat app. This goes on to a whole different article, but do you all know that Elon Musk used to be one of the CEOs of PayPal many, many years ago? When Elon Musk used to be a CEO of PayPal, he then actually had the X.com website, but he hadn't done anything with it yet. Then he tried to turn PayPal into the X app, what he's doing now with Twitter. And a lot of the people said that they did not want PayPal to turn into X because whenever people see an X, they automatically think of pornography. And they told him that it wasn't going to be profitable because it is going to make people think that it is pornography. And if you actually look at the X logo, it does look like a pornography app on your phone. So I don't know why you would want to change it to X, but again, I haven't figured out what his fascination with X is. In 2000, Musk had become the CEO after the merger of his X.com and Confinity. The venture-backed company co-founded by Peter Thiel that owned the PayPal program was a more popular money transfer service than the one offered by Musk. After Thiel resigned following a rift over Musk pushing for the PayPal system to go on Microsoft platform instead of the Unix-based software, Musk wanted to broaden the company's ambitions as more than just a money transfer service by making the letter X more prominent in his branding and pushing out the PayPal name altogether. According to Max Chafin, the author of 2021's book, The Contrarian Peter Thiel and Silicon Valley's Pursuit of Power. So Elon Musk back in 2000 was the CEO of PayPal and fought with them, wanted to change PayPal back then into this X. And the other thing is he's fighting to have it on the Microsoft platform instead of the Unix based software. And that surprises me because if anyone is somewhat of a computer nerd, the Unix based software has always been more stable than the Microsoft platforms. But it makes me wonder if his Neuralink is maybe a Microsoft platform based link. And that's why, if that's the case, and I'm not saying that that is, who's to say that sometime in the future that once he gets this X app going, that he doesn't somehow get this to pair up with these Neuralink and literally they're connected. But I don't know if the Neuralinks are Microsoft or not. I'm going to guess since he pushes for Microsoft, they probably are. When the problem was too glaring for some customers, X.com sounded like it was an adult website. X had connected a series of focus groups showing customers disliked the brand name because it reminded them of porn. A couple of other people said that they didn't like it either because it reminded them of adult sites. So, long story short, what happened? Elon Musk is obviously no longer the CEO of PayPal because he decided to go on vacation. And while he was on vacation, the committee for PayPal got together and pushed him out. So he was no longer the CEO, he was no longer part of PayPal. And he had to actually buy the X.com domain name back from PayPal so that he could keep it for future to try to get it off the ground again, which he's doing now. That was what, 23 years ago that he was trying to get the X.com off the ground, and now he's doing it. I want to go into what the WeChat is for those of you that do not know. It's kind of an old article, but it does tell you about what WeChat is. And we're going to go through this because Elon Musk has already publicly said that he does plan on turning this X app into an equivalent Western area of WeChat. And you all know with all these agendas and everything that they're pushing with the CBDC and the UBIs, which is a whole nother video. I'm going to be working on the UBIs with the World Coin. I don't know if you guys have heard about the World Coin, but that is another thing that is a part of the CBDC and the UBI. I did not realize that some of the cities in the United States are actually already doing pilot programs of UBIs, but there are cities in the United States that are already doing that. I also just learned recently that India has gotten rid of 86% of their physical money and they are now on e-ruples. And that ties into the world coin and the UBI and so forth. I did not know India jumped on that bandwagon already. All right, so let's go through this WeChat app, guys, that X is going to become. The Chinese super app is Apple's biggest threat in China and could be a blueprint for which at the time was Facebook's future. So here's what it's like to use a WeChat, which helps a billion users order food and hail rides. But it's more than that. See all these QR codes, guys? All these QR codes? That's what's coming. WeChat has become an integrated part of life in China. You use it to message your friends, buy your groceries, hail a ride, and even book a doctor's appointment. It's basically impossible to exist in China without it. The Chinese app started off as a simple smartphone messaging app. Sound familiar? In 2011, less than a year after WhatsApp was founded, but it grew explosively as it expanded into a kind of super app that takes the place of Uber, Grubhub, Venmo, Craigslist, and a whole bunch of other services. Didn't we just say that's what he's trying to do? The messaging, banking, rides, marketplace, all of that he's already publicly said he's going to put into this app. It's literally mirroring this WhatsApp. There's no Western app quite like WeChat yet, but it's been said to present Apple's biggest existential threat in China, even as Facebook inches towards turning its own ecosystem into something a lot like WeChat. Here's what you need to know about WeChat, the app that a billion users in China rely on every single day. So it's highly likely that you don't have a WeChat account unless you have friends, family, or business in China. And yet the Chinese super app has a little over a billion active users. That's less than Facebook's 2.45 million users. Now, keep in mind, this is an older article, so I'm sure it is quite a bit more now. So it's probably grown to at least double the size from when this article came out. It came out at roughly the same time that Instagram did. So I guarantee it's got way more users than it started off with. To add on to that, WeChat users spent an average of 432.6 million hours on the app over the past 90 days, more than double the average time spent on Instagram, according to the app analytics firm Apptopia. After all, the little green app is for far more than just chatting. It's part of everyday life in China. Basically, you guys, you have to use it in order to live and survive in China. Its payment system is used by vending machines, shops, street vendors, local transit systems. It hosts apps or mini programs that allow you to hail a ride or book a doctor's appointment without a separate app. If you attend a job fair, there's a good chance that you will have to scan the WeChat QR code to send in your resume. And the list goes on. WeChat, made by Chinese tech giant Tencent Group, that name sounds familiar. Tencent Group first launched in 2011, 2 years after WhatsApp. The major differences is that WeChat has grown from its roots in chatting to grow into a super app that, for users, scratches all the same itches as Facebook, Venmo, Uber, and other services to which Americans are well accustomed. Tencent Group, guys, isn't that the group that owned that lab in California? But they can't find one person that's a part of this group. But I'm pretty sure that this is the only information of who owned that lab. I'm almost positive. That's interesting. I just realized that. In China, it's basically impossible to do anything without access to WeChat. It's used to pay for food, order from shops, and it's beginning to be used as a virtual ID for Social Security by the Chinese government, according to South China Morning Post. A report published by Tencent in 2018 says WeChat aims to embed itself in every moment of the user's daily life, from the morning till night, anytime, anywhere. A marketing professor at the University of Virginia's Darden School of Business says that it's pretty close to its goal. So they literally can't do anything without this app. To go even further, they have your medical records on this app. They have some public buildings that you can't even enter without scanning your digital ID QR code that is on this app. There are public restrooms in China that you are not allowed to use without scanning this QR code of the digital ID of this app. Now, if this is what Elon Musk is turning X into, we are moving way, 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 way faster than any of us thought. We knew the QR codes were coming. They're already kind of using them. A lot of the stuff you guys did in the last 2 years, including us, was kind of like testing to see if we would do it. Like when you would have to go to a restaurant, you couldn't have a menu because of COVID, but you could sign the card with the QR code. Okay. So what's the difference? The menu can be dirty, but the little card they give you couldn't. It was the same thing. They were testing you to see if you were willing to scan these QR codes to pull up the menus. There are actually some jobs that, in order, look at how many help wanted signs. If you want a job, you have to go up and scan the QR code that's on their door. They're still testing these QR codes. So if Elon Musk is trying to turn this into the WeChat, his app is going to become one of those apps that is going to scan that code and kind of keep it logged in your phone of like where you are, what are you doing, and so forth. For me, I think it's a way of tracking literally every single thing that you're doing, especially if they are going to be a part of the payment systems, the doctor's offices, the marketplaces. So basically, that's your finances, your medical, and your purchases right there, shopping, your groceries. What are you buying for food? Your rides, where are you going? So all that is going to be in this app. And that tells me that this is going to be a very big way. It's going to be used for not so good reasons. And I wholeheartedly believe that it's true because I don't trust Elon Musk. I think that anyone who wants to put a chip in somebody's brain so that they can basically access their emails without their phone or their computer is absolutely nuts, or a mastermind, one of the two. I think that it's all tied in together, you guys. And if you agree, let me know. But I think it's all tied in together. And I think that when he gets the Neuralink off the ground, he is going to tie in the Neuralink with this X app. He's already planned on X.com back in the year 2000 to turn it into an equivalent WeChat. And now he has bought Twitter, turned it into X, and integrated it in with the X.com and publicly said, I'm going to make this America's version of WeChat. The problem is WeChat controls the Chinese people. It controls everything that they do. It's also tied into their social credit score. So everything that they purchase, everything that they spend, everywhere that they go, who they talk to, who they message, all of that is tied into their social credit score, and that's all on the WeChat app. So we're going to have this coming soon. You got to do your research. A lot of people were excited that Twitter was no more. Well, originally, a lot of people were excited that Elon Musk reinstated a lot of the banned people over the years, over the last 2 years. And I'm all for freedom of speech, you guys. Whether I agree or disagree with what they're saying, I'm all for freedom of speech, but it needs to be fair across the board. So I am glad that he reinstated those. But it seems like he didn't do it for freedom of speech because he didn't automatically do everyone's. It seems like he did it to the people that would cause the most uprise from the opposite side to cause people to get angry and fight more. But he's going to turn this X app into something bigger. I would highly suggest that you look into it if that's something that you're willing to do. Do you want to have to use the X app to purchase everything, to make a doctor's appointment, to get an Uber? Do you want to use one app? What happens when somebody hacks that app? They're going to have all your information, every single bit. And you guys have all heard the saying, especially women, where you shouldn't keep all of your stuff in one area, like your purse. You don't want to keep your car keys and your phone and your wallet all in your purse at the same time. You want to scatter them out amongst you. So if somebody takes your purse, you don't lose everything. Same thing goes with this app. You don't want to have everything in one app because if somebody hacks that app, they literally have every bit of information about you that they need or that they can gather more information. We can talk about his AI program, his AI platform that he is going to add, create, build, already building. Elon Musk has launched his long awaited artificial intelligence startup XAI in a bid to build an alternate to ChatGPT. After he sat there and said how dangerous AI was in ChatGPT, he is literally building a program that does the same thing to compete with it. So the Twitter owner has brought in a team of engineers from other tech firms he's hoping to challenge in the artificial intelligence sphere. Musk has warned for months about AI's potential for civilizational destruction, arguing that a race among companies such as Google and Microsoft to develop the technology should be stopped to allow time for regulations on the tech to be drawn up. The reason for the launch of XAI is to understand the true nature of the universe. Musk said that, who also co founded OpenAI, but later left the startup credited with sparking the generative AI frenzy. Dan Hendricks, who serves as the director of the Center for AI Safety, a nonprofit that aims to reduce the risk posed by the technology, will be an advisor to the new company. The startup's team includes several former engineers and scientists from Alphabet owned Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI. We've worked on and led the development of some of the largest breakthroughs in the field, including AlphaStar, GPT 3.5, and GPT 4, the startup said on the website. I don't know, you guys. I think that you just really need to keep an eye on Musk, which I'm sure many of you already do. Keep an eye on X.com. Keep an eye on the X app. Be very careful what you are scanning with QR codes. And let me see, there was something else. Oh, YouTube, you guys. YouTube is watching my channel closely. And the reason that I say this is ever since I did my live stream where I started off asking you about if these laws sounded like they pertained to what we're doing now, or if you heard they're coming down the pipes, and it was all the Stalin rules and regulations. Ever since I did that video, YouTube has had me under a thumb. They've had me shadow banned. They have blocked some of my videos completely, and they have disabled comments on some of them. They have disabled the like button on some of them. And every single video except for the bunny video, they have done something where I've had to dispute it or contact them and have them reverse a decision. They have demonetized numerous videos where I've had to fight them on it, and 2 weeks later, I get it turned back on. But by then, the algorithms aren't going to pick me up. So I have to try to. I promised you guys I would do this video on the X, so I did do it for you. But I do have to pull the reins in a little bit on what I talk about because YouTube is trying to find anything they can to find a reason to take my channel down. I can tell because they keep giving me strikes and blocking my videos and blocking comments and so forth. So I know that they're trying to find a reason. They just haven't been able to yet because I have won every dispute that I have put out. I have won every reversal that I have fought for, told them they're wrong. To include my little animated video, you guys, even that they tried to nail me with. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is absolutely ridiculous. So I contacted them and got it reversed right away. But every single one of my videos, YouTube has been um, trying to slash and make it disappear or make it to where the algorithms can't pick it up because if you disable the likes and the dislikes or you disable the comments, that is how the algorithms pick things up. So if you can't comment, you kind of sit there and nobody knows that you're there. So I do have to pull the reins back on some things that I am talking about. So my next few videos might be not like my normal very blunt videos, but I am going to try to still touch on the topics that I bring you guys. I just have to be careful how I do it. I have to be careful with my words. Just so you guys know, so you're aware, I am not slipping. I'm just trying not to lose my channel because I've worked really hard to get to this point. I hope I remembered everything, and I hope you guys are cautious on what you're downloading or keeping in your phone. And be prepared. Do the things you need to do, but don't make yourself broke doing it. Start small. And I know you should have started up by now already, but even if you haven't, start now because something is better than nothing at all. Be safe, love each other, be kind to each other, help each other. And as always, you guys, have a good night, y'all. Mwah.